this is our module for sports development in action. So we're going to begin with, these are just a couple of photos for my placement. It just shows how diverse, like how little equipment we had to work with. So I worked in a primary school on behalf of Bolton School and Sport and Active Living. What they do is go into schools and provide basically PE curriculums that they have and upskill the teachers through our CPD course. So this is just a reception class actually, and copying someone doing yoga off the video, off a YouTube video. So what it involves is a PE scheme of work that matches the PE curriculum, and Sport and Active, the sports PE premium pays for people like the Bolton Council Sport and Active Living to go into schools and provide them the curriculum for them. When I say the CPD, it's for basically training the teachers. However, during some classes, the teachers wouldn't come into the PE lessons. It would just be us, as in the sport coaches, and the teachers would be in their classrooms doing their own pieces of work. They link it with strategies such as the Sporting Future strategy, which we will mention, the Sports and Development strategy, which I'll also go over. So if I just move on to the next slide. Okay, so again, I just covered this. So I would go every Wednesday and Thursday, all day from 8:45 till 4:45. So we'll do an after-school club, which would be netball, and that would be a boys' team. So it's quite good. I'd be assisting a sports coach, so that would be my job role. And transportation would be just walking there, as it's only half an hour away from my home, as I live in Bolton. And the aims of the programme is that it aims to make Bolton a vibrant and healthy place to live and work. So by providing PE in schools, they want to make sure it's a long-term and lifelong participation by making it fun, creative, inclusive, which I've also mentioned here. Okay, so these are the key aims that I've already mentioned a few, but their 3 key aims is to basically provide children with essential developmental key movement skills, which would be agility, coordination, innovative PE and continuous personal development. So by making it fun and inclusive and creative, the main aim is making sure that they participate lifelong. And I think that's the key thing that I'll reiterate throughout. I want to develop, so it's also as a health benefit, it's also an educational benefit. So it's enhancing the education by using the PE through the reception classes. We make sure we use our ABCs and our numbers, making them think. So just a quick recap and to say that the Bolton Council Sport and Active Living is at the foundation stage, because it's basically it's delivery of PE and physical education. It's right at the foundation stage, it's grassroots, and the aim is to get them to a participation, so having school club links and getting them into clubs on a regular basis. Okay, so, Okay, key roles. So professionalism will link into me being on time, making sure I'm in the correct UCLan kit, and I've also been given Bolton Council kit, so making sure I have both kits, as I'm representing Bolton Council and UCLan. Organisation is when I'm planning lessons, I've been asked to do something for the following session. I need to make sure I've planned, which links into planning obviously. I need to make sure I'm organised and don't just plan on a day. As I'll mention planning later, planning is very crucial for student teachers. Delivering is, the delivering will only be effective if I plan, making sure I deliver according to the time, because they're only 40-minute lessons, PE lessons. So it's making sure I get in as much PE and making sure the children are standing around for as less as I can. Evaluating is making sure I get feedback from the sports coach that I'm working with to ensure I'm developing myself. So when I was talking about planning, so I've got a few quotes here. So a thoughtful teacher planning helps to make student learning more purposeful, effective and efficient. That's what I was going to. So for me, it's very important to plan for a session, just so I can make sure it's purposeful, it's making sure everyone's inclusive, and making sure it's creative. However, some people, these quotes contradict each other. So one says that experienced teachers don't have to plan, whereas the other says an experienced teacher has to plan to make. They're constantly thinking, they're making sure they can better it each time. So planning just make sure it's clear. You're helping the session, you're developing the session. It's important to be organised. So if you plan ahead, then for student teachers the session will be more effective, and you're making sure you're meeting the outcomes of the syllabus. So my partners that I have, the partners for Bolton Council and Acton, the Sports of Living would be the Sports of England, the primary PE and sports funding that the schools get from the government is what, and that funding is used for Bolton Council and the Sports of Living. So we get the funding from the primary PE and sports premium funding, and that's how we're funded to go into schools and deliver the PE curriculum. So that's, again, it's linking into our aims of making sure the children are physically literate, developing knowledge, they have a healthy lifestyle, and again go into the lifelong participation. Greater Manchester provide inclusion and sports for the children that are looking to go to the next stage. So they have like school winter programs in 2017, having so many participants in lots of different sports and lots of different competitions, trying to enhance them to continue to play sports throughout. Okay, so the wider social benefits. So these are some of the key areas. So the key areas are individual development, health promotion, promotion of gender equality, social integration, peace building, post-disaster trauma relief, economic development, communication and social mobilisation. These are the 5 key themes. The ones that I would be working on would be the ones that my programme works with would be health promotion, and I can't find it. It would be sport and health and sport and education. So they're the 2 that my placement really worked with. So if we start on sports and health. Yeah, here we are. So if we work on sport and health, so this is basically saying they want to increase competition in schools. So the new curriculum is all about competition, inclusion, and making sure all students are enjoying themselves, follow that participation stuff and level to increase them throughout their life, to increase their health. So they say if they're participating throughout a lifelong participation, they have less chances of reducing the chance of getting fat cancer and reduce the chances of getting diabetes. Yes, that's what I have. So yeah, and this one is saying that to reduce obesity, it's important to introduce physical activity at a really early stage of like childhood. So that's why it's important for the kids and children to do like physical education at such a young age at primary school. So, children and young people is a section of the Sporting Future strategy. It talks all about providing children and young people with sport and with physical education at such a young age, providing them with like the literacy skills, the coordination, the agility, the key fundamental skills, just to make sure they're enjoying it and experiencing it and having a positive experience, to make sure they participate in secondary school and post school experiences. So if they have a positive experience, they'll result in a lifelong. However, if they have a negative experience, they may have a narrow perception of sport. So they really focus on providing positive experiences to physical education and physical activity. Bolton Health and Wellbeing Strategy, we're still looking at sport and health. Have five key stages of life. So starting well, developing well, living well, working well, aging well and ending well. If you start well, having good health before, like in your early stages of your childhood, it goes through each stage, making sure you have a healthier lifestyle through lifelong participation. Sport and education. So sport and education. So basically, using sport as an educational tool. So through sport and physical education and primary school sport, then they're aiming to develop them through the ABCs and using numbers. Again, for my reception class. So as well as the ABCs, you want to learn key factors such as being honest, teamwork, fair play, respect, and adherence to rules. So being able to do all these things are the stuff that you will need in the future life, or even when they're young teenagers looking for jobs. Sports England mentioned that all primary schools are trying to leave children leaving primary schools being more physically literate, and therefore it just shows how much pressure is on like these Bolton Council and Sports of Living coming into schools and delivering the sport and making sure they are meeting the outcomes of the syllabus. and Sport England. Sport and development, again looking at sport and education. It's a website online. This again talks about how sport is an educational tool. It says here it's about the holistic development of the young people, making sure they foster the physical, social and emotional health. So again, it looks at the health aspect, but it's also looking at the education aspect, as they want to develop the people that are like 5 years old in year 1 and 2 to be holistically developed, to leave school being holistically developed, to be able to progress in the secondary school education. Again, it mentions the factors that we mentioned in the previous slide. This is again from the strategy that we mentioned, the Sports in Future. It talks about how the person's attitude towards sports is often shaped by the experiences as a child. So this is basically touching on how teachers in primary school have a massive responsibility to make sure the children have a positive experience. If they have a positive experience in the younger ages, they're more likely to carry on and progress into like secondary school sport, after school teams and local club teams, and local club links will be given through the primary school, and schools should have a list of club links. So it mentions here what it demonstrates is a positive experience, which we've already touched on through the primary PE and sports premium, the funding that gives us the allowance to go into schools and deliver PE. This touches on, so we've touched on like tackling inactivity, so making it fun, giving it a positive experience, reducing inactivity percentages. So yeah. So just the benefits of the sport active living is what I'm doing. Again, it's meeting the structures and the strategies of the Bolton community. So we mentioned the Sport in Future strategy. Here's mentioned the Bolton Health Matters strategy, which I've gone through. It enhances and develops the education of young people at a young age and developing them holistically. We'll mention that twice. And then we mentioned the sports development website that I spoke about just then, about developing them education and developing their education through sport and physical activity. And then my references. Thank you for listening.